All right, so welcome to Doushin Talk. My name is Gadu. Thank you so much for joining us. So now the Doushin Talk is a part of Heart of Giving Day. So this is the day that once a month we can come together and really share our giving heart. It's an important thing, especially time like now, like things are not stable. It's a lot going on, and we have a lot of fears and anxiety. They ended up, those are the times we can become like a little bit panicky. So then, look, it's all about me. I need to protect myself. Me. But those are the times also, you have to step back and say, let's open our heart and let's practice heart of giving. So not just me, but then by sharing, your heart, you actually feel much better. You feel less stress, less anxiety, and you can also, increase your healing ability in the way too. So today, I would like to talk about Riken. That's a Japanese word for distant gaze. And over years, I talked about this kind of a few times. But Riken is a very important practice. It's actually advanced practice as well. And it really basically is you observe yourself and observe your life and any other life from from a distance, and you observe it in a way without judgment. You can just see things from a distance so that you can actually observe it in a much bigger picture. So I'll talk about in two different ways. So one as a healer, and then the other as more of a self-healing. So as a healer, it's very important to practice Riken, the distant gaze, because it's easier for us to get emotionally involved, with our receiver, And of course, especially when you have experienced something similar to what receiver was experiencing, we actually have a lot of empathy for them. But at the same time, we can project our own emotional experience onto them, And that's, empathy is not bad. Emotion is not a bad thing. But then when you are actually focusing on your own emotional response, then you are not focusing on the person anymore. So that's why as a healer, you have to kind of a step back. And even though, this person's having a lot of pain, a lot of issues, you kind of have to observe it from a much bigger point of view. And by doing so, you can focus more on like, how can I help this person, better? Instead of just like, oh, I just want to help. That emotion is very important, but then that emotion can also get in the way. So you have to step back and say, how can I help this situation? And so you can give even better suggestion and recommendation, and you can focus on their energy and how, everything kind of unfold much more in a deeper way. And when you're practicing self-healing, Riken is also very important. The reason is, especially with our life, naturally we're emotionally involved with our life, And, because of our ego, we tend to think things from us in the center. Everybody's life, we're the main character, right? And that's natural. That's the function of our ego too. And ego in itself is not a bad thing, but at the same time, the function of ego is to separate, to consider yourself as a separate entity, because that's important for our survival. In order for us to survive, we need to consider ourselves, or maybe our family, this group of people, as a separate entity, so that we can focus on the smaller unit instead of much bigger unit. But then we have to be able to separate our ego from much bigger point of view. If we are just, the problem with ego is ego tend to convince us that this is all it. Ego is all about it, our existence. But that's not true. We need to be able to see things with everything is interconnected. Everything is resonating with each other. And without that bigger point of view, much broader point of view, we get lost. So those people who are considered egomaniac is basically got caught up in this ego thing, and starts believing like, oh, I'm the main character, everybody else is not important. They're just like mob in the movie, person A, person B, that kind of stuff. So to be able to put yourself outside of your life, observing your life as if you're just observing something else, to be able to observe without judgment and objectively, you start seeing things that you haven't seen. So that's why the Riken is important. Because in our life, especially you have experienced something negative in your life, we tend to make ourselves either a victim, or sometimes you are the one could be the person who have done something, then the person who have holding a guilt, So all these different characters you see in the movie, you just you project yourself onto this thing. Because it's easier, right? And it's also that's the kind of function of stories too, to have that. That's why we enjoy stories, because we can project ourselves onto each characters. But then, if you start seeing things much broader way, even those persons or persons have done something to you, If you're just seeing yourself as the main character, then they're like, oh, this is a villain. Oh, I'm the superhero or a victim or whatever. But then if you see things much broader way, then like, oh, this person who have done something to me have had life. Oh, what kind of a life this person had? What kind of a relationship this person had? What made this person this way? And what made me this way? What kind of a relationship I have had with my parent, with my community, with my relatives, or what kind of a relationship my parent had with their parent. Because all these things get, passed on, right? And so when we see things from a distance, it's not just about the physical distance, but it's also beyond time. Because if you grew up in a certain community, there is a way that people, the community have a certain tendencies, and that can get, that certain type of judgment or value get passed on generation by generations. Especially if you're part of a certain religious community or something like that. There's a certain rules, certain values that are passed on. And that affect who you are and what you are at this moment. But when you start stepping back and see things, much broader way, so I'm like this. It's not just by who I am, but also there is the nature part, but also there is the nurture part, And you might have had a bad experience with your parent, and that's very common, right? But you actually look at their parents from a distance. Their parent is a parent, their grandparent, your grandparent, have had certain way of connecting with your parent, and also their grandparent, or their generation back, maybe as an immigrant, about going through certain tragedy in their life or certain way that they grew, lived back then, have caused certain pain or way of communicating with each other. And so then you start realizing, everything is interconnected. You know, I'm part of this fabric, of resonance. So whether I am who I am is neither good nor bad, but then there's a certain tendency that I have. I can break away from it, the passed on from generation. Now I can break away because I understand what this is. I can make change. In order to make change, you need to understand what it is. That's why the healing too, right? I talked about healing in a detection before too. The important thing about detection is when you understand like how these energies interconnected with your life, that you can, all the entanglement and attachment, once you understand, you can let go. All this entangled string, when you understand how everything is interconnected, you can actually start picking on it. And slowly, you can untangle things. So that's why the Riken is an important practice. And as you practice Riken, the distant gaze, you also can let go of your attachment, your physical body, to your mind, and even to your spirit. The spirit, as I explain, is about all the information, making up who you are and why you are. But all those information, it's just information. We can get attached to the information, but once they let go, then you really feel your connection to everything there is, And the place where we connect to everything is what I call soul. So in our life, we are all like this, right? Like we're so connected to our life like this. So it's important for us to step back. So in our practice today, we're going to step back little by little. And as you step back, you look around. Look around and see like how everything is connected. And we actually step back even farther. Maybe looking at her, whole planet. Looking at the whole, solar system. Looking at the whole galaxy. Even observing yourself from outside of the whole, our physical universe. And beyond that is pretty much beyond our imagination. We can't visualize, but we can feel it. And from there, you observe, Because everything is connected. And you need to be able to experience that. It's easy to talk about, but when you experience it, you will really know what it is. All right, so now I'm going to guide you in the meditation. So find a comfortable position. And close your eyes. Put a gentle smile on your face and relax your whole body. Tuck your chin slightly in and be aware of your lifeline that's running from top of your head down to the bottom of your torso. And feel you are grounded and centered. You're breathing in and out through your nose with tip of your tongue gently touching the roof of your mouth. And you breathe with energy breathing. As you breathe in, feel the energy coming into your body from every part of your skin, collecting and condensing in your lower tanden. As you breathe out, any energy that doesn't serve you anymore, transform into something beautiful, shooting out from every aspect of you, going back to wherever it belongs. With each breath, feel you are getting purified and refined, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Now, if you can, keep your palms up and stretch your fingers just a little bit and push your elbows out a little bit. Feel su. Feel you are creating space inside for your ki to flow freely and most efficiently. If your feet are touching the floor, gently grab the floor with your toes or think about you doing that. If your feet are not touching the floor, you can gently stretch your toes just a little bit. And think about raising your thighs and knees. And think about raising your hands and your arms. And feel again. You exist as both physical and spiritual being, and your awareness is somewhere in between. Feel you are here but not here. And feel you are slightly detached as if you're outside of your body observing yourself. This is the first step for Riken practice. And in this fuzzy and distant feeling, bring your focus to your lower tanden. See the soft mist of light shining there. And say the heart-opening password in your mind. And feel your connection to everything there is, beyond time and space. And you surrender yourself to this feeling. And with deep respect and gratitude, ask your guide to come and help you. And invite your guide to come march together with you. See your guide appears in front of you. And you and your guide are marching together as one. And feel you are your guide. As your guide, notice how you feel. Notice how you're holding your body. Notice how you're holding your mind. Notice how you're holding your spirit. And feel your kokoro is open. And you set your E clearly. Say in your mind your intention, your purpose, and your path. And feel your ears resonating with everything there is, activating ki everywhere. And feel you are guided and supported in each step you take on your path. Now gently bring this light up to your heart and see the beautiful soft light shining in your heart. This is the light of your unconditional love, light of your soul, light of your infinite healing energy. Focusing on this light, take 3 gentle deep breaths. And with each breath, feel this light is getting bigger and bigger. And your whole body is in the light. And in this soft, hazy light, feel your physical body is becoming fuzzy and transparent like mist. It's there but not there. You can see through every part of your body. You are observing your physical body as if you're outside of it. As you observe like that, you let go of your attachment to your physical body. And as you let go of your attachment to your physical body, notice your mind, both conscious mind and subconscious mind. Your sense of self, ego, your memories, all the stories, your emotions, beliefs, and all the hidden memories, hidden emotions. And feel your mind. It's there, but not there. You observe your mind as if you're outside of it. As you observe like that, you let go of your attachment to your mind. As you let go of your attachment to your mind, feel your spirit. Spirit is all the information make up who you are and what you are. They include physical information, mental or emotional information, and all the spiritual information beyond time and space. And feel your spirit. It's there, but not there. You're observing your spirit as if you're outside of it. And you let go of your attachment to your spirit. As you let go of all the attachment, feel your kokoro is open and feel your connection to your soul. And with that awareness, imagine you're stepping away from your body, say 10 feet. From that distance, you can see your connection to your surroundings. Your families, your home, your things. Just observe how you are connected to all these different things in your life. And now you're stepping away even farther, say 100 feet. From that distance, notice how you are connected to all these different things. Maybe your community, your neighbors, your work community, your relatives. You may find positive connection, like your friends and family. Or you may find negative connection, such as people who hurt you. Just observe all these as connection. And from that distance, you may start to notice how though each thing you connect to is also has its own connection to its own surroundings, its own family, its own community. And from their life, you are a part of their life. From their point of view, it could be you are the one that who hurt them. Whatever it is, you just observe. Now you are stepping back even farther. Notice how you are interconnected in your cities or town. You may feel your connection to your own country. As you step back even farther, feel you're observing the whole planet. You're observing how you connect to each country, how ocean and mountains, all beings connected. Even the countries you've never been to, you feel connection when you hear about the country in the news, or you see a picture. And each country has all these people, all the beings, also interconnected with each other. As you observe, also notice how we are only on the just tiny thin crest of this planet. The whole planet have much more. And we are part of it. Earth is about 4.5 billion years old. And we are part of that history. And you're stepping back even farther, observing our solar system, or the planet going around our sun. All the connection through gravity, electromagnetic waves, as you step even farther, you observe our Milky Way galaxy. Our solar system is located outskirt of the galaxy. We only know very little about our galaxy. But you're still connected to all the stars, all the planets, all the asteroids, possible other life forms. As you go even farther away, you notice even our galaxy is just one of many. All the other galaxies are much bigger. There are so many different black holes, other formation inside our physical universe, which is also expanding constantly. And most of our universe is empty space, and we don't know much about it. We think there is dark matter or dark energy that we don't know how to detect. But without knowing, we are still connected to everything in this physical universe, and you are part of it. As you take yourself even farther, Everything is mystery. This universe could be one of many. This dimension could be one of a few of many. It's beyond our imagination. But we are still part of it. And we can feel this connection to everything there is beyond time and space, beyond our imagination. And you surrender yourself to this feeling of being connected to everything there is. Now this meditation is yours. If you like, you can continue to meditate as long as you like. Now this meditation is slowly coming to the end. Gently bring your focus back to your heart. See the beautiful soft light shining in your heart. And feel your kokoro is open. And you are in harmony with everything there is. And notice how good you feel physically, mentally, and spiritually. And in this light, say thank you to your guide for all the guidance, unconditional love, and blessings. And with deep gratitude, ask your guide to come back and help you again anytime you need it. And see your guide coming out of you. And with a smile, going back to wherever your guide came from. Now gently bring this light down to your lower tanden. See the soft mist of light shining there. And the light is spinning, spinning, spinning as an energy ball. It's spinning faster and faster, getting smaller and smaller. See the light that's getting condensed into a tan. And you put it deep in behind your lower tanden. And with joy, take 3 gentle deep breaths. And slowly open your eyes and rub your hands together. Activate your hands and fingers and massage your face. Cup top of your head. Cup base of your head. Okay, massage your C7. Release any tension in this area. And massage your temples. Make circular motion. And don't press your finger or hand too hard. And massage your ears, top to bottom. All right. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. So, it's always good when you have a very strong emotional reaction to something or someone. Whether you like the person a lot or don't like the person a lot, or certain situation in your life, step back. Observe yourself. Where this come from? Is this some kind of a feeling, the connection, or this person's certain behavior remind you of someone from your past? Or could be some spiritual connection, some kind of a karmic entanglement that happens from our past lives too. Use your skills, as a healer to find out what is this connection is, So then you can let go of your emotional part of it. And you just observe like, so this is how this is interconnected, That doesn't mean you might not like the person if you don't like the person. And that's okay. That's just a part of a resonance. You don't have to become their best friend. That's all right. But you understand, you can let go of your emotional burden, that you have to hold on to. And that's how you let go more and more. All right, so thank you so much for joining, everyone. And if you can, continue joining today, because we have a practice session in an hour or so. And otherwise, I will see you again next time. As always, I love you. I appreciate you. And thank you. All right, until next time. Goodbye for now.